Thank you. Four Southern California tribes are on the brink tonight of one of the largest expansions of gambling in the history of the United States. Among them, the Pechanga tribe in the Temecula Valley. Colleen Williams, my partner on the road tonight in Temecula, has more on that issue. Colleen.
Paul, the voters may get a chance in February to decide whether the Pechanga Resort and Casino, which is really just down the road from here, and three other Southern California Indian casinos should get any bigger. The tribes involved are the Pechanga, as you mentioned, Agua Caliente, Morongo, and Siquan. And in a new agreement with the state, those four tribes would operate some of the largest casinos in the world, permitting them to have additional slot machines, more than any casinos in Las Vegas. But the casino expansion won't happen unless the voters approve it. And with billions at stake, the opposition is mounting. 2,000 slot machines cover the floors of the Pechanga Casino, but tribal officials say they need more.
When people line 3 or 4 deep and wait an hour or 2 or 3 to play a slot machine, you don't have enough on the floor.
That's why Pechanga and 3 other Southern California tribes renegotiated their individual gambling compacts with the state earlier this year. With these amended agreements, Pechanga and Morongo can add 5,500 new slots. The Agua Caliente and Siquan tribes could expand their slots by 5,000.
Some of the casinos would house 2.5 times the number of slot machines that are in the largest Las Vegas casinos.
Scott McDonald represents opponents of the compacts. They are petitioning to put a referendum on each compact on the February ballot, so voters get final say on gambling expansion, not the legislature.
The people who are working to put this on the ballot include 2 Indian tribes, Paula in northern San Diego County, United Auburn near Sacramento. There are racetracks, Bay Meadows and Hollywood Park, and a labor union, Unite Here, which deals with hotel workers.
According to McDonald, the Hotel Workers Union opposes the compacts because they would change the way workers get union representation if they decide to organize. But it's the expansion of slots that's drawing the most fire. McDonald says the racetracks feel they can't compete with all those slots, and the tribes say the compacts simply are not fair.
It plays favoritism by giving a third of the state's gambling pie to these 4 tribes out of 108 in the state.
Pechanga says the compacts don't just benefit the 4 tribes, they benefit every Californian because the casinos must pay the state a percentage of revenues from all the slots.
Our state will get more than $9 billion over the next 2 decades.
Pechanga recently began running this ad to counter the opposition, but even that $9 billion figure is up for debate. The nonpartisan Legislative Analyst Office in Sacramento called that estimate overly optimistic. The LAO estimates annual slot revenues in the tens of millions of dollars, which it says comes to far less than the $9 billion over the life of the compacts. They expire in 2030.
I'm a maintenance engineer at Agua Caliente Casino, and I'm proud to be a part of the original team at the Agua Caliente. I helped open the Agua Caliente Casino in April 2001. And I wanted to tell you about what happened to me, and that if an employee upsets the management there at Agua Caliente in any way, or if you speak up about anything, or if you're different in any way at Agua Caliente, they make your life a living hell. I know this to be true because what they've done to me is they've discriminated against me first because of my health problems, and second because I'm an openly gay woman. The lead supervisor is this really big, tall guy. I had to work with him every day. He would make anti-gay statements about me to other coworkers. He just didn't like me, and he talked about starting an anti-lesbian hate group. And
my name's Stella Wilson. I worked at Morongo Casino for almost 2 years as a slot host. I was the one where if you hit a jackpot, I paid you. And in that time, we received 3 letters, anti-union letters, with our paychecks, and Actually, they were all three the same letter. We just received it 3 different times. The last one, we were required to go into the office and sign our names saying that we did receive them. So if Morongo says that they didn't interfere, they did.
My name's Anna Roy, and I worked at both the Agua Caliente and the Morongo casinos for a total of about 2 years. And I speak Spanish, so over the 2 years I worked there, I got a chance to speak to hundreds of employees, and I know what it's like to work in the tribal casino industry. I wanted to talk about several points that were brought up in yesterday's hearings, and let you know how it is from the workers' point of view in these tribal casinos. I didn't work at Pechanga, but I know that workers at Pechanga did receive the same anti-union letters that we received at Agua Caliente and Morongo. Somebody said yesterday that they're just trying to tell us our rights under TLRO, and that's just not true. These letters are intimidating. They are threatening to us. When the company puts out these letters, they silence everybody.
Hi, my name is Miriam Collingwood, and I work at Cache Creek, so my story is a little different. I've been working there about going on 4 years now, and I've had the pleasure of being on the negotiating committee when we negotiated our last contract. And I feel that the partnership that we formed with our tribe and our union has been a great one. We were, as an older woman, I have to worry about health care costs coming up here. I've had some health care problems myself. I just recently diagnosed with diabetes, so the cost of health care and stuff is very important for me. And the fact that we were able to negotiate with our tribe and negotiate a low-cost health insurance program, I think it was fantastic. And we continue to have a really good partnership. We have the tools to do what we have to do at Cache Creek. And I've also had the opportunity to speak with a lot of people from the other casinos, and I feel it's an atrocity, and I would like you to vote no on these compacts unless they do enable these people to have the same rights and enjoy the freedoms that I have at Cache Creek. What we have there is a wonderful partnership, and it's all because of the card check and the neutrality language that came out of the 2004 compacts.
The richest tribes in California are in front of you. They're at the bargaining table. They're coming at you with enormous expansions to their opportunities to game. This will probably be the largest expansion of gambling in American history. While you're looking at tweaks for exclusivity, while you're looking at tweaks for robocalls, for approvals for local governments, while you're looking for tweaks for a number of issues, we ask you, please, the most important tweak you can possibly make is that the tens of thousands of workers currently, and God only knows going forward in this industry, that they have the right, that they have the power, that they have the ability to actually get to a conclusion of a collective bargaining agreement with their employers and take care of their families in dignity, live their lives in dignity, and cover their children with full family health care. And if you can't do that in the short period of time left in this session, we ask you, put it off. Put it off till there's time to bring all of the stakeholders to the table and ensure that going forward, the most vulnerable people in our state, who are the engine behind currently a $7 billion industry, have the ability to live their lives in decency and get a living wage and cover their families with basic health care. That's what we ask of you.
Chairman Milanovic, Ms. Garcia, any closing comments?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, after listening to Bonnie, I don't have to say anything. She said it all. Once again, I mean, that's why we help this woman get reelected every 2 years. Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay.